We didn't do an intro or an outro, but that'll be fine, right, Graham? Huh? You want him to do it now and you can add it later?
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode. Here's what was going to happen versus here's what happened. But tonight we were going to actually kick off a conversation that we got just to, it kind of ruffled our feathers a little. This thing called living well together.
Big life in a small town.
Yeah. So we were going to, we had a plan and then we modified the plan a little bit.
Yeah.
And
we hope you enjoyed that episode.
Yeah. It's a little more of a ramble on.
Yeah.
You'll learn a little bit about hobbies, perhaps, or things that we do with our leisure time, or the way we manage our leisure time. And the topic was going to be the vaccine process and the response to that. And we'll touch on it, but we're going to bring somebody back for that.
I like that shirt. That looks good on you. It's kind of a different shade of red than what I'm used to seeing you in. It's kind of vermilion color. Black Pug Bike Repair. Where did you get that?
The guy that fixed my bike.
Is he in Yellow Springs? Oh, I like it a lot.
I've had it for 2 years. I've
never worn it?
never worn it.
Can you talk about your biking career and your love for the Tour de France?
Oh, that's a good idea.
I don't have a biking career.
Well, you used to.
No, a career is something you make money at.
Your hobby.
My bike hadn't been off the wall for 5 years.
Oh. Let's see.
What hobbies do you have?
What hobbies do I have?
Yeah.
Working. Writing. Creating. But I love to read. I do love to read. That's definitely a hobby.
For sure.
And like it's we could talk about the
Why is it important to have a hobby?
oh gosh. Do you want to know the truth?
Yes.
I think hobbies are a waste of time. I really do.
Tell me what you mean by that.
Well, because I have always lived by a to-do list. And so if the hobby is on my to-do list,
Okay.
then it's totally fine.
For example, do you have a hobby on your to-do list at the moment?
No. But I do like playing pickleball and tennis. Like if I was going to put like a hobby or a sport on there, that would be one of the things I enjoy.
All right.
I don't think you can call traveling a hobby, but I do love to travel.
Yeah.
Yes, I love to travel.
Sure.
And I
you're
love
a
to
good
plan
traveler.
trips.
Yeah, I was going to say you're a good planner, so that could be
Right.
kind of a hobby. We don't do it enough, frankly. We should get better at your hobby.
I've just never thought of it as being a hobby. Oh, did I fix my hair? Is it a mess from my...
No, it looks fine.
Change my shirt.
Looks good.
Because I struggle with that sometimes. Like when I go out and golf, it's not getting me anywhere in life, but I still enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Well,
why am I working so hard? Why am I putting all this money into golf?
Mm-hmm. Because you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
to what end?
Yeah.
Well,
I could be doing something else. I could be hunting out with honey.
Mm-hmm.
Grace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Grace usually makes me go golf.
Yeah.
When I'm having
Because it's good for your soul.
I could go
yeah.
2 hours, 4 hours.
But it fills you back up. Like you like it enough that it's good for your brain, right? It releases good hormones, right?
It does, but I understand what you're saying because it creates a certain little bit of guilt that may or may not be a healthy thing. And then the question is, why guilt? Because guilt,
right,
is
lowest
a useless form of vibrational frequency.
Right above shame.
Yeah, but it's popular. It's been made very popular.
Yeah.
Because I think that's why you don't do it. You just feel guilty if you're not somehow being more productive than you were 10 minutes ago.
I don't feel guilty about it. I just like the hormones that are released when I finish a project or, So that's kind of the trade-off for me. Probably I do feel guilty sometimes.
You do.
Because it's like, or following up with people that I know that I need to get in touch with and stuff like that too. Like
Would you consider yourself a workaholic?
Probably.
Is it a busyaholic or a workaholic? Is it a like I don't know what to do with downtime, so I just need to stay busy? Do you feel like that? Like I don't have any hobbies, so I might as well just work my butt off.
So in my little world, there's always something to do.
Of course.
Like just whether it's just household things like laundry or dishes or cooking or, the things that I enjoy doing too. Like I like keeping our home. But then the other work side with client care and learning myself, just being that lifelong learner and pouring into research articles and finding out what makes us tick and how we can do better and how we can share.
So being of service to others is a high priority.
Very much so.
And I think for both of us actually.
Yeah.
However, I think I'm a better relaxer than you.
Unplugger.
Yeah. I can
because
step
you can
away.
turn your brain off. I can step away, but my brain's still going.
Yeah. I'm better at it than that.
But there really is benefits to doing fun things, like for you guys to golf or for you to be gardening, Graham. I think that's just so beneficial on so many levels. And then, and I know that you like to golf too. You just haven't done it very much.
I just haven't made the time because to be fair, I don't know. There must be some guilt involved in that as well. Like I'm not going to go camping. Like I'm not going to leave you behind for a whole weekend so I can go do something that I think might be fun that you don't think is fun. And so then I feel bad about doing that. The same in golf is that my way or biking.
But you know that I will always find something to do.
Oh, 100%.
Like if you
my guilt's not about you. My guilt's always about me.
Okay, because you know that I'm totally good with you going and doing those things.
Usually.
Really? I mean, because in my mind, it's like, if I know that you're having fun somewhere, then
fun that doesn't include you?
I feel like I don't have to entertain you.
Oh, is that your job?
It's part of my job.
Oh my goodness.
Sometimes I feel like I have to come up with the plans and I have to like find something so that you're like having fun.
Really?
Is this kind of like a marriage counseling session?
Babysitter?
Is Graham got us doing marriage counseling? Not your babysitter, just your
entertainer,
cruise director.
Cruise director.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I will just find fun no matter
What
the situation.
Absolutely. He's much more fun-loving than me.
Going on vacation with you guys versus my parents is completely different.
How so?
Well, structure.
Oh.
There's things to do. We're going to do this day, and then we're going to go do this day. And my parents are, we got the house.
Do what you want.
We're going to be here. That's
okay.
We're going to go to the beach. Or it's just,
Yeah.
it's, you can never, you probably should go in now.
Well, and there's something so wonderful about that, though, and you're much more that way. And I'm more like, I don't want anybody to be bored. And so I think we need to be more bored. Maybe I just need to be more bored.
Oh, I don't think you're going to be good at that.
Being bored, you find things to do. Like when Cannon and I were supposed to go golf and the course was closed and we sat for 2 hours on the putting green.
Yeah.
And it just escalated to the most fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad we didn't go golf.
I love that.
We had way more fun.
Yeah. Spontaneous.
Yeah. But we had to find fun.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think I do get bored too easily. Like I can't just sit. Like you like even floating in the pool this weekend, I'm like, you said you took a nap.
I can take
Your
a
belly
nap.
can attest for that.
I will nap my brains out.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Half an hour. I woke up, my belly's as red as this shirt.
It is great. You want to show everybody?
No.
It's so red. It's the reddest I've ever seen it.
Yeah, it was pretty red.
But yeah, so you could do that. And I love floating, but I'm actually like processing the floating.
Oh yeah. Not me.
Yeah. And then Honey came over and we had a nice little swim session too. And I love that.
Her life vest, she actually enjoys putting it on.
Yay.
Oh, nice.
Oh my gosh, that's wonderful.
I'm excited to go back over.
Yes. And have her, yes. Because if you guys go up to the lake, that'll be
I actually, I listened to somebody do a video about that the other day. About your kid should never be without a vest on the water, ever. Like
on the water or like in the pool? Both?
Like if you're at a lake, your kid should be in a vest all the time.
I know.
Like,
and there's certain
because-
color bathing suits too that they should wear for lake versus pool and stuff
I don't
like
know,
that. Too.
but yeah, this was talking about just some of the tragedy that happens in no time flat because you think you got them and you don't.
Yeah.
Did you see the guy that jumped off a cruise ship to save his kid?
Yes, we talked about this.
Kid fell in from a Disney cruise.
He didn't have a life vest
Dude,
on.
he just went in. He got after it.
I feel like both you and Graham would do the exact same thing. Like you wouldn't even think twice about it.
Right.
Like you just go, you do it. Ugh.
Like a 3-story jump.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. Because just the jump itself would have been kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean,
We could start a whole new channel of just non-tries hobbies.
not. So what are some hobbies that I could try? Like when I think
I
about
don't want
it,
you to try hobbies if you don't want hobbies.
I like to crochet. I just haven't done that for a long time.
I was going to say knitting.
Yeah. I don't like knitting as much as crocheting. I really do like to crochet.
Okay.
Yeah. Caitlin has a lot of hobbies. Caitlin paints and plays tennis. And
Get into tennis league.
I know, but that sounds like work. Because I'd
And
have
you
that
got to interact
obligation.
with other people.
I don't mind interacting with other people.
You could just start your own.
Just with the
A
backboard.
league of her own.
That's what I did for a long time. I would go over to Rona Hills and just bat the ball there against the backboard.
That's what I like about the pickleball community is like you just show up to a court and kind of hope to see some other people.
Yeah.
Right. Like a pickup game,
Which I
yeah.
don't really want to do. I just want to play with David.
Yeah.
David's
Yeah.
like, yeah, let's go over here. There's a bunch of people. You just
That's so funny.
play with the mix.
Yeah.
Do you have a special racket?
No, he does.
He does. So he brings
Bring a
it.
couple.
Okay.
Yeah. He loves like showing people new stuff and like teaching them, and then he always has that extra. So it's fun.
So does David's the one that just got the new business, right? How's that going?
Good. Yeah. Seems.
Do you think he'd want to come on? No.
Fast.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Talk about
How about your business?
Your new restaurant.
And your life.
Yeah. So I did say Dolores had commented on one of the episodes, and I feel like we should have Dolores on.
Oh, we could.
Yeah. She's like, really?
You did kind of leave it open because she was like, "Are you sure?"
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll send her. I'll get in touch with her separately, and we can have her on. That would be so fun. I'd love to know what like her favorite episode's been, and
Get a t-shirt made.
yes.
Putting it all together.
Exactly. And then she's got her name on the side. But yeah, she definitely is like our biggest fan, and I appreciate that so much.
So what you're going to hear in this episode of Living Well Together is about 15 minutes of what we just rambled. And we're going to call this an episode
Yeah,
and just post it.
that's right. Yeah. Because we were going to talk about something pretty serious. Let's see. Vaccine shedding reference guide. And so we decided that we didn't want to talk about that tonight. Smart, right?
Maybe we'll bring it back. Actually, I would like to have a guest. There's a
To
couple
talk
of people.
about it,
Yeah,
that
there's
you
a couple
think-
of people that
okay.
I think we should bring on.
I mean, some
It
of
could
the
be
points
super
are really
helpful.
awesome because the purpose, again, just like we try to do every time, is to give solutions
Yeah.
and not to shame or blame or anything like that, like just healing strategies.
Well-
because we're all dealing with things in different ways.
And the
we-
danger, though, is it's kind of planting your flag.
yeah,
You know, it's like, here's what we're willing to tolerate. Here's what we've noticed in the world that we can ignore for a while. But here's something in the world that's not, it's getting harder to ignore.
Right.
It's getting harder to ignore because of statistical reasons. It's getting harder to ignore when the science is actually being revealed. It's getting harder to say everything's all right when everything's not all right.
right. So the vaccine shedding reference guide is childhood vaccines and also COVID vaccines.
Yes.
But COVID isn't a traditional shedder.
It's also not a traditional vaccine by
Right.
definition.
Right.
And so to
yeah.
bring on...
And we're not experts at this. We just anecdotally, we see this daily with people struggling with different things, and root causes are super important. And is this a root cause for some people? Maybe.
Yeah, it's just getting tougher to say
Yeah.
we can sit on the sidelines and
And
not
to keep
address
our
it.
lips zipped.
Yeah.
I know.
Well,
But-
and the COVID vaccine is a great example. You can look at just the whole pandemic response and know how families were divided, how people died in the hospital by themselves with no family support because the disease was such that. But when you look statistically, you also can see that in the hospital, the treatment was worse than the disease. And when you look at kids that have been vaccinated for COVID versus kids that have not, the death rates are exponentially higher in the vaccinated population. So, and they'll say, well, the scientists, and they would never do that. And well, you can ignore that if you care to, but the reality is the statistics are what they are. And now the new government's administration and the new leadership in that administration, they're looking in some pretty dark places. And a lot of the research that's been hidden or redacted or whatever. And so, but it's kind of, it puts us in an awkward position for some things.
Right. And that's why we just didn't feel like ready to talk about it tonight. If for any reason you would like a copy of this reference guide, though, and kind of interpret it for yourself, then I'm happy to provide the link to that as well.
Yeah, there's lots of good research available, but you got to do your homework. And like I said, everything on the internet is not true. It's getting harder and harder to know what's true. Just because it's in print and just because it's available doesn't make it real. So you got to consider sources. And when you're looking at research and considering sources, you also got to consider the funding for the research and the source, because funding tends to dictate outcome in many, many cases of what we call science.
Yeah, I didn't put a lot of the research links in here. It's mostly just because I was just talking about support after exposure.
Yeah.
Whether it was exposure from another person or actual injection into their body.
Yeah.
But the type of reference guide, this is the last page, is a wellness reflection journal page where, you can just think through things.
And when you look just at what's being injected into people, it's really important to know that not all people are the same.
Right.
Like some people can breathe pollen and some people can't breathe pollen. Some people can eat strawberries. Some people can't eat strawberries. And that's because not of the strawberries. That's because the way a strawberry might interact with the chemistry of that person.
Right.
So some people can take an injection and walk away and seem, at least on the outward surface, perfectly fine. Some people take that same injection and don't live, right? And it's not because of the injection. It's because the way the injection might interact with the chemistry of the person who's different. Your chemistry is different than mine, for which I am very thankful.
Yeah.
You have beautiful chemistry.
Our
But not
chemistry
everybody reacts to things the same way. So the injectable vaccine process can't be expected to react in all people the same way. And then you get into this whole greater good conversation and doing it for the good of the team. And if you don't do it, you're a bad person. But when you look at the hard data and the science, it's pretty questionable. What?
Well, I thought we weren't going to talk about it.
We're not talking about it. But we will find somebody who's better equipped to talk about it with us. How about that?
That sounds like
That's
a good
our
idea.
commitment. We'll bring back somebody who is a little more sciencey, maybe.
Yep.
Has a little more credential.
And in the meantime, if you just want some basic reference guide, we got that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Coolsville.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Bye.
What should they do?
Like, subscribe, and share. Bye.
Hey,
for now.
hello.
Bye.
See you later.